Hello everyone. Happy 4th of July. This is Sam Wong again. Hope everyone have a great time and spend quality time with the family and the loved one. This is also the US 250th anniversary, just that for those who may not, well, some everybody will know. So July is shaping up to a critical transitional period for the financial markets, and you start with positive regaining the momentum that was lost earlier the last 2 weeks of June. You, in case you do not know, the disappointing job market numbers was actually preceding positive in this case because this would delay the interest rate increase, right? So earlier in the year we expect the interest rate actually going to go down, but then now because of the data was support actually saying you have to be raised of interest rate. So this when the interest rate raised, that means it's more costly on financing and borrowing. Thus, the stock market normally perceived as negative. However, from an economic standpoint, it's not going to be good in the long run because of the reduction of consumer spending, right? Discretionary spending. More people don't have a job, and the weak housing market because people were concerned and will not necessarily own a house. Just that you know, this is the potential impact. You've continuous to have a weak job market numbers. And before starting what comes next, I would like to show you the historical trend, which is what you see in the screen. And it proves that whoever can tell you about the June index is kind of correct probably because it's a mix. You can see that in Dow Jones Industrial Average Index is actually 2.25% higher than when you started in the beginning of June. And also, but then obviously in the two other indexes, which is the Nasdaq and S&P 500, is actually lowered in the month of June. Now the question is predicting in July, and you can see that you look at historically in July is actually a pretty strong month that actually were given positive in the history. Okay, so if you ask me, I'm kind of predicting July will probably be an interesting month, and I'm looking for continue to bullish given that we're going to have a really great earnings announcement again and picked up by the bank number that's showing up how well they were performing in second quarter of this year. So there will be economic data announced. Inflation data will be released in July 14 and July 13. CPI data will be providing on that day on July 14. So again, the inflation was driven by the energy spike earlier because of the war, but it's got a sign of relief and cooling. You can see oil prices, really the WTI have dropped it around $70 when compared to earlier of the year, probably $120. But at the beginning of the year, it was about $65, $60 to $67 range. So S&P 500 also year-over-year revenue growth is projected to continue to be robust at 12%. You will start again with banking earning and forward-looking statement to see how well we're doing as a U.S. economy as a whole. And also, but one thing very interesting is the Section 122 tariffs expiration or have a legal milestone on July 24. So it may process some supply chain ripple effect, and we can. But if it further delayed, where basically the tariffs and the refund already going on, the action may making the retail business and the supply chain continue to be robust in the month of July, and the stock market continues. Okay, and obviously the people who know the SpaceX is joining the Nasdaq 100, bringing roughly 4.3 billion in forced institutional info, and time coming close for the initial buyer to kind of sell the stock, right? For those who have bought it at a very initial stage. This is another snapshot of how the index have been looking. Just to let you know from the time span. So it's very interesting that this is started with 2021. You can see we basically all three indexes actually higher, right? And you're really reaching pretty much. You can see very close to all-time highs. And this just gives you a different perspective from a number perspective, what are the percentage of increase decreases with the timeline. Okay. So now I want to give you some stock that I have talked about and maybe in the past. So Nike is one of my favorites. So you're almost up 10% in a week. The uptick was due to the better than expected revenue earning. For a year, however, which is years kind of spotlighted, it was still down 42%. So It was actually, I really recommended buying it. It's a good time to buy and wait for fourth quarter, which is Thanksgiving and Christmas time, when the demand normally, right, the demand of the retail store or outlet, wherever, people are gonna buy it for Christmas gift. Um, so this kind of cover, and in a larger perspective, the retail industry is still lagging, but the rotation stocks, which benefit may shift from AI to other sectors. This will be one of the sector I'm betting they're going to be improved. The other one I want to touch base on Helium. For those of you who listened to my last video, so it actually the stock have been very bullish and gone up to as high as $8.40. And it's driven by news that will support it. Potentially, it will be, what it will be using, the company will be supporting the AI energy demand. So I sold some at around $8 and buy back now in this level, average about $4.60. So just to give you the idea that, you may come back down, but again, the good news is the marketing team in this company work very hard and find innovative solutions that grow the revenues and really to kind of meet the future demand of the energy. And as previous stated, the next one I want to touch base on the robots. They came up with mediation, how to address concerns related to lawsuit. So the stock has actually rebounded nicely, 20% in a week and 32% in a month. I look forward to stock to go back up to $90. And again, the 52-week high, as you can see in here, is $150. And this one will really, you more want to watch list, and hopefully the momentum and bullish, all the negative news disappear, and will be continuing with the new profit share that they came up with. We kind of incentivize some new games, and more people continue to be increasing the users of this company, and maybe eventually bought up by another company. The next one I recommended buying when in Netflix. Netflix hasn't done very well since after the announcement that they're not getting the Warner Brothers. But again, this actually should be perceived as a good news if after the investor digesting, understanding that, as we always say, this is overpriced to buy Warner Brothers. So the stock clearly back to the level around close to the level of 2021. The revenue a lot higher. So I will not comment about the advertisement strategy they have, but obviously they also have gaming revenue for those who play games on the phone. And know some of them will actually have a Netflix account in order to play. And like I said, the merger did not happen. So actually we can look for better opportunity in other places for production facility, like maybe Hong Kong TVB. I mean, they do have two factories that can do production for production purposes, and you really probably in a very good, we can get in very good prices if they're interested to expand their future different lines and minimize cost of the production. Also, I don't have it here, but just to mention that Microsoft has rebounded quite nicely last week, and hopefully will hit back and continue the momentum, hit back over $400. Earning will be again end of July, and will be a chance to prove that they are AI resilience, and really, what the criticism of Wall Street about to a Copilot, right? I still believe the Copilot is very good. Yeah, I mean, from a technical perspective, it may not be, but if you look at from the front end perspective of users, like business users, it's have been very exceptionally helpful. Of course, there's some other company competing with that space, but also if the OpenAI is going to go for IPO, it's actually also benefiting Microsoft, just that you know. And Micron, on the other hand, has pulled back below $1,000, though the revenue earning will be well exceed the expectation after the announcement has gone up. There's an opportunity for AI pullback, but but I still think now that video could be a potential buy too. Just for those who want to know why and what happened, listen to my previous video. So in summary, the market should be bullish with continued solid earnings. AI will be another test to see how they were doing and quantifying the AI investment. M-share is still, in my opinion, still true, and market will have a correction before any higher possible in the future at year end. So stay tuned, and if you have any question, feel free to email me. Have a great and wonderful week, and hopefully everybody enjoying the summer and the World Cup.